Everybody, I'm Julie. Today I want to talk about the witch wound. The witch wound is a form of ancestral or collective trauma manifesting as a deep fear of being seen or judged. Some of the signs are silencing your intuition, not speaking up for yourself, being over apologetic, people pleasing, mistrusting, being envious, competing or sabotaging other women, or even sabotaging your own success, disengaging from spiritual activity or natural healings. This can manifest as a throat chakra blockage, so you can't speak your truth. You can disconnect or disassociate from your body, so sometimes it's hard to experience pleasure or joy. Psychics will kind of tell you that you're like floating above your body. You may have anxiety or fear of practicing holistic medicine, herbalism, or any kind of energy work. Basically, history has told us that you can't be your most authentic self, because if you do, you're going to get burned at the stake. A lot of our trauma wounds have the same symptoms, so it's good to work on whatever ones you think you have kind of at the same time. We are like Shrek. We are onions. We have layers. I definitely have been working through many of these wound-related issues. One of my big ones is fear of being seen. I hate public speaking. I don't like to be in front of people. If I'm sitting at a table and talking in a meeting, it's fine. But it's horrifying to me to have to stand up and do anything in front of people. When I have to do it, like for work, it literally feels like I black out when I'm doing these in-person presentations, and I'm usually stressed for days and I don't even remember what I said. People always tell me that I did a good job, but I figured they were just being nice because, many things come with the witch wound, things like imposter syndrome. I got some of that floating around. So here I am with a bad camera angle, terrible lighting, speaking from my heart, and dreading to put this video on YouTube. I am the person who likes to sit in the back corner at the restaurant. When we went to Aladdin's today, we took our son to lunch. I started to stress immediately because I was like, where's she going to put us? Do I have to ask for the booth over there in the corner? But luckily, she must have read my face, and she was like, how about back over here? And I was like, sweet. So this is something that I'm still working on, and I know it's time to step out of my comfort zone. So that's another reason why I started this YouTube channel. I know it's not the same as getting up in front of people, and talking in a live setting, but this is still pretty triggering. Doing that is a future goal of mine. I'd like to get more comfortable in it. And again, I thought maybe by creating this channel, I would start to be able to calm some of that fear and self-esteem issues. So we're all going through something, right? And I want to connect the stories with people who need to hear them. Everybody wants to heal. Everybody wants to be happy. We all deserve to heal and to be happy. Sometimes we just need someone to hold space for us and let us know it's going to be okay. We all need some joy in our life too, so I'll post some fun things too. I love to do the little shorts with animals. I've got dogs, and I love birds and all kinds of different squirrels. We get squirrels that run up and down our fence line. I love the animals and the birds. But also, like, I was just on a spiritual retreat in Sedona last year. It was amazing. So I'm thinking about doing a video or two reviewing my time there. But back to my witch wound. So I was always afraid of being too sexy or feminine because I hated my body. I tried to post those like sexy duck face lip pictures. I can't even do them anymore on Facebook to get the likes. It was nice, but it didn't work. I wasn't confident to stand in my own power or speak my truth. I would never post anything online that was outside of the normalized societal belief system. That's a mouthful. I just played small and people pleased, so I wouldn't rock the boat. Which is funny because people always thought that I was confident and like, yeah, but it was all fake. I didn't like myself, and I'm still working on the confidence. I definitely didn't let anyone know. I definitely didn't let anyone I wasn't close to know that I was pursuing a spiritual life for fear of reoccurring judgment. There's always judgment when you do things that aren't considered normal. For example, I love fall and Halloween, and I went through a phase of making decorations and props. Some of them were scary, and they're actually being used at a local hunt. But a couple of my family members called me a devil worshiper because I made some fake evil witch prop books. Like, seriously, do you even know me? Clearly not. So, how did I start to heal? Well, I read books and I watched videos that resonated with me, and then I put them to use. One of those things with journaling. I love journaling. I will talk about journaling very often. Journaling has been one of the most healing things I've ever done. I used to think like, yeah, who's writing in their journal every day about, boohoo, I'm sad or whatever, I ate salad, whatever. I mean, basically that's what we're doing on Facebook, right? But I digress. I cannot speak highly enough about journaling. It really helps you dig into those onion layers of yourself. You just keep asking why until you get to the heart of the matter. How am I feeling about this situation? Why am I feeling or reacting this way? What events happened that caused me to feel this way? Why do I think it happened? How can I react differently next time? Etc., etc. All of the things that will lead you, actually, a lot of those things will lead you back to childhood. I was body shamed as a kid, so I hated my body, and it took me basically my entire adulthood to start loving myself. Okay. Now, once you figure out that you have this witch wound, you can't just say, oh, I have a witch wound and move on with your life, because you're not actually healing anything, just spiritual bypassing, which I've realized that I've done a lot in my past. Like I said, you've got to journal, you've got to sit with the emotions and cry and scream, have imaginary conversations with people who hurt you, have conversations with real people if you're able to, and it's a safe environment. Talk to your inner child and let them know that they're okay and that you're going to work it out together to heal, right? One of the uncomfortable parts is that you've got to feel the emotional energy and acknowledge it so it can move through your body and be released. I actually did another video on this, so take a look at that when you get a chance if you want, if it resonates. When I'm going through something, I will sit and ask myself how I'm feeling, then I'll label it, then I'll stick my hands on my heart and on my stomach and say I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm not the emotion, I'm so much more. This really kind of like grounds me and puts me into my body, and it works for me. Another important part of this is forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself for any decisions or ways you denied yourself expression of your authentic self. Not for them, for you. You don't have to forget what happened, but you shouldn't dwell in it. That takes you down like the rabbit holes and can get you into negativity and all that kind of stuff. And then you got to start speaking your truth. A lot of us do not feel safe expressing ourselves. I didn't want to be myself, so I people pleased. It's very uncomfortable, but if you do it from your heart and you continue to practice it, you'll get used to it. Here's something else: setting boundaries. It's important to set boundaries. I cannot express that enough. People get so caught up in doing everything for everybody else that they themselves sometimes end up suffering, right? Politely say no to things that your heart's not into. You don't have to give excuses or justify it. If you don't have the bandwidth, just say no. If they don't understand, if they don't understand, if somebody doesn't accept that you don't want to do something, you might need to cut them off later. I'm joking, but I'm also serious. The next thing is self-care. You've got to take care of yourself. Most of us nowadays do not take care of ourselves, again, because we're too busy taking care of others. But you can't do a good job taking care of other people if you are not taking good care of yourself. So one of the things I started doing regularly was soaking in a hot bath. I would light some candles, get the bubbles going, have a glass of wine. I'd relax, try to get into the present moment of just being in that warm water with all those good smelling bubbles. You can join a community. You can find people who feel the same way as you. I found a haunted house to work at. I met some amazing people who are on the same spiritual path as I am. And when I'm with them, I can be my most authentic self because they hold space for me to do so. Now, it takes time to work through this. Clearly, I'm still working through it. And I keep saying I'm creating this channel because it's one of the steps for me. So see how I keep trying to convince myself that I want to be posting stuff on YouTube? I don't want to. Anyway, I'm hoping that you guys got something out of this that you could actually use, or at least feel that you're not alone. Let me know in the comments what has worked for you in the past. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.